I'm a huge fan of Disney. Well, at least classic Disney. And I'm a huge fan of Disney video games, too. Or at least classic Disney games. From Chip and Dale and DuckTales to Epic Mickey and Castle of Illusion. Disney characters translate beautifully to video games when they're done right. Thing is, not all Disney video games fall into that category. There's another category, too. The obvious category of, oh, it's just a crappy licensed game. But the interesting thing about this particular Disney game is that it doesn't fit into either category. I mean, you don't even need to play Disney Princess My Fairytale Adventure to see that it's obviously not one of those Disney classics, but I wouldn't call it a crappy licensed game either.
Hi, I'm Flounder. You haven't seen my friend Ariel, have you?
Ariel? No, I don't think so.
Oh, I'm gonna get in so much trouble.
I guess the key question here is, are you a 6-year-old girl? Because if you are, you're probably very happy to hear this, and I appreciate you watching. Although you probably shouldn't be. I say awful things sometimes. Everyone else is probably like, Derek, come on, you actually like this crap? Yeah, I do. It's a perfectly fine kids game that lets me create my own Disney princess. If you don't want to create a Disney princess, you're a goddamn liar. After you create that princess, you take her on a delightful journey through various Disney worlds. You get to interact with Ariel from The Little Mermaid, and Belle from Beauty and the Beast, and the whole lovely crew. They all have these problems, which they ask you to help them solve. I'd help Ariel with plenty of things.
Would you like to look for human treasures with me? 'Cause I could really use your help.
So, the premise is fabulous, the game looks beautiful. The problem is, it's a kid's game, which means the gameplay doesn't exactly hold up its end of the bargain. It's a basic recipe of simple platforming, lots of fetch quests, zap the evil fairies. The game never really switches gears, but again, that's understandable given the audience. The customization is nice, but it's actually pretty clunky in practice. In fact, the game generally feels clunky at times. You can't just, check out a dress. If you pick one, the game automatically slaps it on you and moves on. To continue, press B, not A. Like every other game ever. Listen, I'm not a 6-year-old girl, alright, but we do have some common interests. I prefer milk with my cookies. I'm not afraid to wear pink, and yes, I cried when Belle danced with the Beast. She looked stunning. This game isn't stunning, but it's not a bad dress for a 6-year-old girl.
You did it! Oh, thank you! I'm gonna take these right up to the surface and show my friend Scuttle. Would you like to come with me?